Hello, my podcast people, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of my favorite podcast. So right off the bat, quick little insider tip. If any of you watching this or listening to this have a podcast, my soft suggestion to you, send what's moving you. Meaning, if something's on your mind and you're like, you know what, I want to talk about this, it keeps coming up, you're thinking about an episode, just make that episode. I've been thinking about this one, and I had some other stuff written down, and I was like, you know what, this is coming to mind, so I'm going to record this episode. And today we are talking about my full work week. So if you're new to the podcast, maybe you're like, why the hell do I care about this? Maybe you don't. Feel free to scooch on by or pass on by, whatever you want to call it. But for the rest of you, I am recording this one because I recently did a meeting with one of my business clients and went through my entire work week. She asked me to. She's like, well, what do you actually do? And I was like, okay, let me share it with you. And I realized it was helpful for her, just providing some tangible examples of how I do what I do and why I do what I do. So I figured I'd share it with you. For those of you listening around the edges and being like, wait, but you're sharing the same thing with us for free that you shared with her for not free? No, I'm not. She pays me not to just share my work week, but to actually help her improve her specific work week, right? So if just story around the story here, for any of you that are thinking, like, I'm worried about giving too much away, give it all away, because we're providing general solutions to general problems. And then when people are paying you, they're paying you for specific solutions to their specific problems. So if you want a specific solution to your specific problem, you can sign up for a discovery call. I will not solve the problem on the discovery call, but we can see if we're a good fit. And if you want to set up a Maestro meeting, you can do that. So all the links for everything will be in the show notes. It's just much easier that way. Head on over to themovemaestro.com/444. What a fun episode number, right? 444. So let's hop on in. Let's talk about how I schedule my week. 3 takeaways that I'm going to repeat these and this at the end of the episode as well, because this is what I think is like the bread and butter of everything. If you're vegan, it's vegan bread and butter, whatever. But 3 big takeaways here. Number 1, I batch my days. I'm all about batching. I have like 1 million podcast episodes. Courtney, if you could link some of those, thank you. But I batch my days based on energy expenditure, not the specific task. So I'm looking at, is this task creative or administrative? Is it client-facing or is it like a free-form kind of thing? And then I will group those things together via that, because a creative task is 100% different, in my opinion, than an administrative task as it relates to the energy that I have to give and that I need in order to complete that task. Second part here, the number one thing that will set you up for success in general, but especially as it relates to organizing your schedule, is radical self-awareness and radical self-acceptance. So how do you operate? I'm going to guarantee you operate differently than I do. And understanding that, knowing that, identifying that is what's going to allow you to set up your schedule appropriately. What drains you? What recharges you? I personally am not super recharged by client-facing things. So I'm only client-facing 2 days a week. I love it. I love helping people, but I couldn't do it every day. And I've tried that because I was a physical therapist, right? And I had that 5 days a week and I was like, why am I so tired? Well, it doesn't recharge me. So what actually recharges you? What drains you? What are your daily non-negotiables? So for me, I have to get outside. I have to get some sort of sun. I have the same breakfast every day, things like that. That's going to be specific to you. As it relates to this radical self-acceptance, radical responsibility, how long does it actually take you to do things? How much time do you actually have? I personally like to do a few different things at once. So I'm not necessarily multitasking, but I love that I work from home. I will, be writing something down and just be like, okay, I'm going to go on Amazon, or I'm going to send a DM, or I'm going to go send that text message. It's how my brain works and I enjoy it. I'm going to get up and go walk around the apartment and then come back, as opposed to being like, I have to sit here and do the work. I know what works for me. You know what works for you. Big thing here. Maybe you have kids. I don't. How much time do you actually have? I think people grossly underestimate how much time they actually have to perform tasks during the day. They're like, well, I have 8 hours a day because, we pulled this number out of our house or whatever it comes from. In reality, you're like, actually, if I think about how long it takes to eat, right? Eating takes a long time to make the food. And if I want to work out, and actually, I only have 4 or 5 hours of dedicated time that I can do work. Okay. Get real with that and then say, how much can I actually get done? Maybe it takes you a long time to outline a podcast episode. Okay, don't be like, well, I'm going to get 3 done today if I know that it takes me 3 hours. Radical self-acceptance, radical self-awareness, radical responsibility. Third point that I want you to take away from this, and this is a phrase that my girl Jill told me, and she said she got it from her ex-husband Jade. Easy is earned. Take it for, I'm not here to defend my stance on this. I believe it's true. Easy is earned. We know the new hire gets the shitty schedule. And as you are there longer, you prove yourself, et cetera, things improve. So yes, I set my own schedule, but I'm 13 years into doing this. Not necessarily this specific with online business, but just being in the working world. I am also very much willing to accept the trade-offs that come with this ability to set my own schedule. I think it's freedom, but other people would be like, but you don't have a set paycheck. No one's paying for your health insurance. That's scary to me. If that's scary to you, then don't do that. But for me, I'm willing to accept these trade-offs, okay? Those are the main 3 points I want you to take away from this. I'm going to do kind of a gross overview of things, and then I'm going to actually break down my specific days. So yes, I'll say right off the bat, I am always working in some way. There's always something I could be doing, and I choose that, and I love that. If that's not for you, then schedule your day differently, and maybe pick a different career that you can actually leave at work. That's what plenty of people want, and I love that for them. I don't mind that I actually literally work from home, and I can always be working, and my work is on my phone. I love that. I've chosen that. I like to work on the weekends because other people aren't, so they leave me alone. I have also strategically chosen to not have kids. I've never wanted kids, but I've very much made a conscious decision, I don't want that. All that to say, my life is very, very intentional. So just as a general overview for my days, I wake up around 7 o'clock, sometimes earlier. If Rupert's feeling Ruperty, sometimes very early, but typically left to my own devices, 7, maybe a little bit after 7:20. It just kind of depends, especially now. It's dark still in the morning. I have no incentive to wake up at 6:30. I'm like, it's still dark outside. I don't start any client-facing work until 10. That's a non-negotiable, and I love that because I'm not trying to be doing client-facing stuff before then. If I'm inspired or if I need to, I will absolutely start my own personal work, non-client-facing work, earlier. So I usually go for a walk in the morning, Monday through Thursday, and then again on Saturday. But if I have something I want to get done, need to get done, today was a perfect example. I need to get some episodes recorded. I'll start right away, right when I wake up. I eat the same breakfast every day. I remove decision-making from that. For those wondering, I'm going to get specific here. I have 1 egg and a half a cup of egg whites. I scramble them together with the little mixer thing. I add a Mexican cheese blend, and it's all scrambled. I do 2 pieces of turkey bacon. I do some sort of berries. It depends. Sometimes raspberries, sometimes strawberries. It depends. I do cast iron sauteed spring mix. People stay asking me because they see my plate on Instagram. They're like, what is that? It is cast iron sauteed spring mix. I put salt on it, garlic powder, and it tastes delicious. Always spring mix. I don't really like the spinach. Makes my teeth feel weird. Just going to say it. I do 2 pieces of Ezekiel cinnamon raisin toast or cinnamon raisin bread, and I toast it. I actually toast it in the cast iron. Little tip there. And I use ghee because regular butter, it'd be breaking the bread. I know you know what I'm talking about. You're spreading and the bread is breaking. So I use ghee and then some salt on there. So same breakfast every day. And Rupert eats with me. If you watch my stories at The Movement Maestro, you'll see. Dude comes over when I'm eating and he's eating his little kibble things. I know he should probably be on a raw diet. One thing at a time, people. I can only do but so much. I go to bed around 10:30, 11. I can stay up very late. If I have projects to do, I will absolutely pull an all-nighter. I recently did that ChatGPT video, and I stayed up literally till 6:15 in the morning. That's how I've always been, and so my default is stay up later, get it done. But I'm trying to go to bed earlier, mainly so that my body can heal. Like I don't want to have pain. I want my knees to do well with all the volleyball that I'm playing. So trying to get to bed around 10:30 or 11. Yes, I do watch Netflix. Ashley and I have some shows that we watch together. My preference, I love me some high fantasy. Maybe I'll do a whole episode about that. I love it. So things like The Witcher, The Wheel of Time. I love it. I also love things like Selling Sunset. Maybe that's high fantasy as well, because that shit is like so unrealistic. But Selling Sunset, $1 Million Listings, LA, love it. As it stands now, I don't really like working late at night though, so I try to be done around 7. Ashley and I will oftentimes go for walks. It's dark now, but it's cool because in the summer it's not dark. So I try to be done by about 7. And I will at times do a social media post, Instagram post after my day. So after my main stuff, and I'll start around 5 or 5:30 working on that. So that is like a general overview of my day. I will also throw out there before I get into the specific days that every single day I create content for Instagram. I do it each day. I don't batch my stuff. I don't batch my Instagram posts. I do a little bit kind of, and I'm going to get into that when I talk about how I'm making the podcast now. But I'm not like making 17 posts on a Tuesday and then posting them for the next 17 days. I make it that day. I like having that creative flexibility, and I've always been like that. I was like that when I had a full-time job, and I'm still like that because it's how I work best. And I also pretty much every day respond to client Voxers. Technically, I don't need to respond to them on the weekends, but I choose to do so anyway, sometimes, many times. It's my choice there. But those are tasks that you'll hear as I go day by day, things that I do every day. And it's just pretty much a given. Okay, let's hop on into what I'm doing each specific day. All right, so beginning of the week, let's start with Monday. I know calendars, some of them start with Sunday. I'm going to start with Monday. Of note, I'm breaking down the days for you, and I'm going to include I'm going to include when I work out and all the things, not just the work stuff. But Mondays, I start off with a walk. I get back, I do my breakfast stuff, and then I use Mondays to create and record my 2 podcast episodes that will go out the following week. This is the task this is like the only task for the day because it takes a lot of time. And you're going to see that I am batching my podcasting based on energy requirements. So Monday is about being creative. I will outline each episode and then I'm going to record each episode. So I typically will outline and then record, take a break, outline and record. So this is actually the second episode that I'm recording on Monday. It is Monday, what is today? Monday the 16th. I will change my shirt. I'll change the background, like the color of I'm giving away all my secrets. I'll change the lights that are on. And sometimes it also looks different because I'm recording one in the morning and the other one more towards the afternoon, so the lighting is different. But I'm going to do that creative side of the podcast because it's video now as well, right? I'm going to do that on Monday. And those take a longer time. I've talked about this pretty extensively in past episodes, but when I was just doing the audio component of podcasting, it was much faster. Now that I have video, I have 2 cameras going. I have this main one that I'm seeing you fine folks in. I have a second camera. I'm going to look at it right now. It's my phone, one of my older phones that I use for B-roll. And it's just easier to take that footage and use that for Instagram because it's a vertical video. So I'm going to record both of those. I'm going to outline both of those. Outline and record. I'm going to add the title to the info sheet that my team uses. I will upload the audio track for each of these episodes to we're going to call it the Maestro Media team shared folder. And that will be what is done regarding the podcast. And again, it's a few hours of work. It's not just like 1 hour of work. It's typically a minimum of 3 hours of work, usually much longer than that. I will create an Instagram post for that day. I said before, I create Instagram posts every day, but Monday and Thursday, those Instagram posts are typically from the podcast they are related to the podcast episode that is dropping that day. Remember, I'm recording a week ahead, minimum. And so whatever episode has dropped that day, I will post an Instagram post that is from that specific episode. I'm going to respond to client Voxers, of course. And then when I'm running the intensive, which I run 2 to 3 times a year, my Instagram intensive, Mondays will be my prep days to get everything ready for the call that is going to be the next day, every Tuesday. And I will lift. So my lifting days, typically I'm looking at Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Yeah, it'd be great to do more, but I just don't have the time. Right? I have to prioritize and I don't have the time right now. So I will try to get in a lift on Monday. If I can get it in at the end of the day, I'll get in at the end of the day. If I can get it in the middle of the day, it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling and where I'm at with my episodes. Tuesday, same. We wake up, and it's not same at all, but same in the morning. I wake up, I walk, I have breakfast, and then Tuesdays are my client-facing days. So I will do my business coaching calls, my discovery calls, my guest speaking on anyone, kind of Zoom rooms and things like that. If I'm invited to speak somewhere, I will try to schedule them exclusively for Tuesdays or Thursdays. So those are my only client-facing days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. The most calls that I'll have in a day are probably like 8. I'm trying not to have but so many. And based via my schedule, my online scheduler, I will limit the type of calls, the number of the types of calls that I can have. So I have like a max of like 4 of my 30-minute calls for legacy. I have a max of, I see there 2 or 3 Maestro meetings. Those are hour-long meetings. So I'm not going to have like 6 of them in a day. Just the scheduler won't allow for it. I will also try to break up my day via a midday short walk. It doesn't have to be as long. My daily walk is about 45 to 50 minutes. The midday, I'm just kind of like, just want to get outside and like get some sun on my face and stand up because I sit at the desk. On Tuesdays, I will also run my Instagram intensive call at night. Those are at 4 p.m. They start at 4 p.m. They're like 2 hours plus long. Then again, it's running those 2 to 3 times a year. And then, as per always, creating Instagram content, responding to client Voxers. So for those of you who don't know, I don't think I actually explained, Voxer is just a messaging platform. It allows for text messaging and for voice notes. I like it because people like to communicate in different ways. And also for the voice notes, I can speed them up. I listen to things fast. I know y'all out there listening to podcasts faster. Maybe not mine, because I speak really quickly. But I will speed up the messages, and yeah, that's why I choose to use that platform. Wednesdays, I take a break from client-facing. Again, this is energy management. So Tuesday and Thursday, it's a lot of front-facing, outward-facing, extrovert energy. Wednesday, I'm pulling back in. Wake up, go for my walk, make my breakfast, and then I'm going to do more of the kind of like, I'm going to call it executive task. That's not actually the right word, but we're going to go with it because I can't think of it right now. But as it relates to the podcast, I'm doing tasks. This is not creative anymore. This is just get this thing done. Complete the task. Very simple. So I'm going to do on Wednesdays post-production syncing of the audio and the video. Yes, I do this stuff myself because I love it. Could I outsource it? Sure. It'd be $1 million. But I also really like it. So I do it. Audio syncing, meaning I record the video and the audio separately, and then I have to put them together. I will do any light editing that's required, kind of adding overlays, any pop-ups, kind of sound effects, the drum roll. So Courtney, my girl, she does such a good job. She does that for the actual audio podcast. For the video podcast, vlogcast, I don't know what these things are called, but if you watch it on YouTube, I'm the one that's adding the sounds in and things like that. So I'm going to sync all this stuff, get the final video, and I will upload that to YouTube. I'll pull the link from that. That goes into the master doc that we all share. So that's the tasks as it relates to the podcast. Yes, 2023, I told you, is all about my podcast. So all of my tasks are surrounding that, and then I'm pulling social content and things from there. Wednesday is also my financial day. So again, we're looking at these kind of executive tasks, get these things, just get them done. So I use a system called Profit First. I've had a bunch of episodes about the money side of things. Courtney, if you could link, whatever ones you want. But I use a system called Profit First. So I'm moving money into the various accounts I have, not in a shady way. And I'm paying off credit card bills. I pay it off every Wednesday and I fucking love it. I'm like, you're not getting my money. You, Chase, you're not getting my money. No, you're not. I will do any logistical things like scheduling travel, again, because this is kind of like an executive day. The switch here is in the afternoon, and I have my Mafia call, my Mafia dinner. I run those 2 times a month, and my Legacy group coaching call, that's the first Wednesday of the month. And I put those on Wednesdays mainly because they just don't fit on the other days. And it's fine to have just the one call, 3 Wednesdays out of the month. It's in the afternoon, so I have the morning if I need to prepare as well I can. And then, of course, we got creating content for Instagram. We got responding to client Voxers. And if I can, I will get in that lift on Wednesday. Thursdays, again, start off with a walk, breakfast, and we're back to the client-facing days. That's business coaching calls, discovery calls, guest speaking. I tend to have more of my guest podcasts when I record them. They tend to be on Thursdays. They could be on Tuesdays, but most people just for whatever reason tend to schedule on Thursdays. I will also do my team meeting with Lex and Joe. They tend to be on Thursdays as well, but they could be on Tuesdays. Either way, it's client-facing, it's outward-facing, so it's going to be on Tuesday or Thursday. Again, we hit that midday short walk, and we're creating content for Instagram because it's Thursday, right? I release the podcast on Mondays and Thursdays, so that's going to be that social media post is going to be a podcast-related clip, and we're responding to client Voxers. Friday, it's volleyball time. I wake up, there's no walk on Friday. I have my breakfast and I go to volleyball with my mom squad. I'm back at it and I love it so much. The work for Friday is, again, we're batching here based on energy. This is going to be a little bit of, it's executive and a little bit of creative kind of mixed together. And what I do is I transcribe the podcast episode. So I talked in a past episode about the software, Descript. I love it. Yes, I do have the affiliate code for that. If you go to themovementmaestro.com/Descript, it'll just take you to the page. Again, always in the show notes. But it will transcribe the episode, and I just have to correct the transcription because I speak fast, and there's just a few errors. It actually does a very, very good job. But as I'm doing that, I pull social media clips. That's why I still do it myself. Courtney is more than capable of doing it, but to me, it actually allows me to really repurpose content. Because oftentimes when I record a podcast, I don't remember what I said. It's out of my brain. I've said it. What's said is said. So, I'm at 400 plus episodes in, and for a while I was just like, man, the episodes they're just done, and I can't really remember what I spoke about. Now I can. So I will use Fridays to transcribe, ideally both of those episodes, and pull out social media clips. I don't edit them, because again, we're batching. I just pull them out and I note them. I have a master doc for that. I will upload the transcript and the SRT files. If you folks know what subtitles are, that's the file type that is used for subtitles. I'll upload both of those files to the Maestro Media Team folder. And that's my Friday work. Of course, we got creating social media content and responding to Voxers. Then we hit the weekend. Saturday, I love my Saturdays. I love them. I love when I don't have anything to do. I wake up, I walk. No one's out because people don't wake up early here. So I wake up, I walk. I will finish the transcription for the episode if I need. Sometimes I only get through one episode. It really just depends. And I will write an email to my main email list if I'm feeling inspired. But that's it. That is, of course, and the social media posts and the Voxers. But these things go without saying. They're kind of just like, on repeat in my head. Sunday, we got volleyball. Volleyball's at 6:30 in the morning. It's a little bit offensive, but I love the women there. Then after that, I will go do my beach walk with Ashley. So that takes up a large part of the day. And then the work that I do on Sundays is I will go, it's my Mafia day. I go into the Mafia Facebook group. I read all the posts. I respond to all the posts, everything that's been posted. I pull out those posts and write them in an email. Record them in an email, write them in an email, whatever you want to call it. And I write a blurb, which is a few paragraphs, just kind of a lesson, my thoughts. And this goes exclusively to the Mafia. So I'm doing that every single Sunday, and that gets sent out every single Monday and has for the past 3 years. So Sundays become my Mafia days. So that's my full week. I want to zoom out here, give you just kind of a fill in the blanks, fill in the pieces a little bit, and then we'll wrap this up. So like I said earlier, working out, I try to do my walks, and that's Monday through Thursday. It's like a 50-minute loop. And then I will also do it again on Saturday. I listen to Voxers. I respond to Voxers sometimes during that time. Audible. I'm listening to a good book right now, Hank Green's book. I don't remember the name of it, but I'm enjoying the book. It's sci-fi. Is it sci-fi? It's something like that. It's fiction. I'll listen to podcasts, switch it up. I will lift Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. This changes, right? So right now, it's what makes the most sense with my schedule, and my priority is the podcast and creating content for that. So lifting falls to, second, third, whatever priority. I shouldn't say priority. Second, third, whatever task. And ideally it gets done, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't, and I'm okay with that. What I make sure it gets done is my podcast stuff. And then I do volleyball Friday and Sunday. It's winter time, so there's inherently less volleyball. Summer starts coming. Maybe I'll do more volleyball, but for right now, it is perfect. The flexibility that I have in my schedule, and I can put things in where they fit or as needed, is going to be writing to my email list. We're going to see. It's just in general about emailing. I kind of don't love it. I enjoy writing, but responding to emails, things like that. So I will let that fill in where it makes sense. I don't necessarily love email and love the logistical stuff. So I'm not going to force myself to do it. I'm not going to be like, you have to do it on this day. So I will write to my email list when I'm inspired, but I make sure that I do write to the email list. And technically I'm writing an email every week to my mafiosos. So I'm keeping that skill sharp via that. I will respond to emails when I can, when it makes sense. It's always on my phone, so I can do it in the moment if it really needs it. My girl Lex, she takes care of my info account and helps us manage that send important things to me. So that's super helpful. And I get around to it when I get around to it. Some things I just don't get around to. And I'm okay with that. I have accepted that I am the worst at getting stuff back to people for like speaking engagements. I'm at a point where I'm just like, I won't even speak at this event. I can't. Like sometimes things just get away from me. And I'm going to shout out my girl Celeste. I don't know if she listened to the podcast, but she was so helpful because she knows that I'm like that. And she was like, I'll write this thing for you. I'll write this thing. Just give me some bullet points. And I was like, thank you. I will show up and give you the best goddamn presentation ever. But I am not so great with the information before then. So I've accepted that. Any other tasks that kind of pop up, I add them in based on the energy type. Is it more of like an executive admin type of thing? Is it more of a creative thing? And as it relates to creation and creative tasks, creating presentations, y'all already know I'm going to do that the day before it's due. It's just how I work. I've accepted it and I'm fine with that. This is why when it comes to speaking engagements, if people are like, they want something like a million weeks early from me, I'm just like, I'd rather not speak. I would just rather not speak. All right. Second to last thing, seasonality. I've talked about seasonality a bunch. Courtney, if you want to link that episode, especially the one with Emily Reed, that would be awesome. I lean into seasonality. I spoke about it before that right now I'm in a season of let's create this podcast. And so that's my number one priority, my only priority. It's also winter time, so there's not as much volleyball and I'm not lifting as much. Like seasonality is very real. Summertime, I know that I'm going to want my summer Sundays. I've spoken about that in the past, which is where I go to the beach basically all day Sunday. I go play volleyball. I stay for a bunch of games after that. Ashley comes down. We go and walk and go to late brunch and we walk at the beach. Like that's my whole entire day. And the sun stays up longer. So I will shift my work then and do more of my mafia stuff on Saturday. And I will move my schedule around. I have the flexibility. I have the time open to be able to do that. And I know how long things take and what's realistic for me to get done. Something that could be really helpful for you, that's really helpful for me, is writing down in the moment what I want to be doing, right? So right now in this season, I'm like, it's podcast time. I write down about the weather, if I want to be outside or if I don't want to be outside, if it's really helpful for me to get out first thing in the morning because the sun goes down early at night. And this way you can plan for that season for the next year and know like, okay, maybe I got to do more work in quarter one and quarter two because, summertime, I'm going to want to chill. So cool, I got to shift my schedule as such, and then that allows me to have this whatever kind of schedule moving forward. Last part, maybe this is the most important part. I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm happy with how much money I'm making. I'm happy with how much I'm working. I'm happy with how much I can play volleyball. I'm happy with how much I can do, exercise physically. I know that I could make more money by working more, but I don't want to. Right? To make more money, I have to either raise my prices and work the same amount or work more, aka serve more people and keep my prices the same. And I don't want to do either one of those. So I'm not. You get to choose what you do. So I told you I'd bring those 3 main points back, and we're bringing them back. 3 big takeaways. Number 1, I batch my days based on energy expenditure, the type of energy that is required to complete that task, not the specific task. Number 2, the primary thing that will set you up for success is radical self-awareness and radical self-acceptance. How do you operate? What drains you? What invigorates you? What are your daily non-negotiables? How long does it actually take for you to do things? How much time do you actually have? And then lastly, and I say this with all the kindness, easy is earned. All right, I'm looking at the time. We're hitting 30 minutes. This is a long one, but hopefully it helps you. As always, I am so appreciative for every single one of you. You DM me. Some of you do text me. And I'm like, it is me. I get excited when I see the text pop up. 310-737-2345. I'm grateful for all the shares, all the listens. I see you starting to watch on YouTube. Just thank you. Truly. All right, that's all I got for you. Until next time, friends, Maestro